guys, it's your girl Selene Selahyah from the For Real Ghana Life. If this is your first time on my channel, Akwaba, welcome to my channel. What do we do here at the For Real Ghana Life? In conjunction with Kalenbah Travels and Thefoutstours, we take you on our personal journey of our tour around Ghana and travel throughout Africa and the Caribbean. So yes, guys, if you want to experience one of our fabulous tours, returning back to our ancestral homeland, because we are Hebrews and we are waking up. We are realizing that we're the people of the Bible and it is time for us to go back home. And what better way to do it than to take a fabulous tour, experience the beauty of Africa and the Caribbean. So guys, I want you guys to sit back, relax, and stay tuned for our tour adventures at Kalenbah Travels and my personal journey in Ghana and the For Real Ghana Life. Bye. Hello guys, it's your girl Selene Selahyah from the For Real Ghana Life. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like it, share, because guys, today I have our tour group. Yes, we just got finished with the tour. We're actually coming up on the end of our tour, and I want to introduce you to all of our clients and let them tell you how they enjoyed their time here in Ghana, what they feel about Africa now that they're actually here. There's been so many narratives about Ghana and Africa, and a lot of people have all of these preconceived notions. So now we're going to find out from our clients just how they felt about Ghana, and I want to share that with you guys, so stay tuned. Coming up next, I will be bringing my clients on. Okay guys, so I want to introduce you to my lovely guest. She is like a family member of mine. This is Jennifer. This is Miss Jennifer. Miss Jennifer, say hi to our audience.
Hello everybody.
And so Miss Jennifer, I want to ask you, first of all, tell me, what is your new name?
My new name is Yah Jasiwa.
Yah Jasiwa. So she came as Jennifer Porter, and she's going back as Yah Jasiwa. And can you please tell our audience what your new name means?
Yah is for the day of the week that I was born.
And what day was that?
It was Thursday.
She was born on a Thursday, so she is a Yah. And the second part of your name, Jasiwa.
Jasiwa means warrior. Warrior.
Warrior,
Yes.
courageous, and wonderful person. Okay? So, tell me how you feel about Africa now that you're actually here.
Well, first of all, it's a dream come true.
Okay?
I have wanted to visit Africa as a small child. And I have to say, up until recently, I didn't think that was going to happen. So it's especially wonderful for me that God has allowed me to live long enough to come here and see the skies of Africa, Mother Africa, our motherland. I just don't have words to describe how I feel. I feel at home. And I have to say, I have never felt at home in America. When we talked about coming here, my husband and I thought, oh, let's go home. Because I never felt at home in America. I felt like, okay, well, I'm here, I'll do the best I can, and then I'll find where I really belong at some point in my life. And this is that point in my life. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm at home. One of the names they call me is Mommy. I love it.
So thank you for sharing that. You all see that she says she feels at home. So what more can we say? When you ask the person how they feel about Africa and they say they feel at home, what more to say? We would just put a period behind that, okay? All right, so tell me one thing that inspired you or that motivated you about being in Ghana. Something that you saw in Ghana that may have inspired you or motivated you.
Well, one of the things that inspired me was that I came with a cane and a walker, and I haven't seen a walker in Ghana. I've not seen a cane except the one that I brought. And the older people here, now I'm 72, the elderly people here walk around with huge baskets on their heads, and they have a fast pace like I used to have. And unless they're addressed by another it's hard to tell who's elderly. I haven't seen what we're used to in America. When you say elderly, you usually see canes a lot of times. But the normal here is for the elderly to walk about as fast as I did when I was in the 40s. You can't tell their age. They are absolutely beautiful. The children are happy, playful. I'd love to see that too. Lots of laughter. The air is so fresh. Fruit growing some of everywhere, and it's sweet. Sweet, beautiful, delicious. Like fresh fruit every day. The elderly, that's because I am. And have disabilities I've been dealing with and continue to deal with. But I think I have that African will in me that I'm not going to die until I die. I'm going to live.
That's right.
And I feel like the people here live happily. And that feels good. It feels peaceful and quiet. Not too quiet, because I love those drums. But it's peaceful and it's quiet and friendly and lovely and all of those things.
Okay.
So thank you.
Okay. All right. You are welcome. So again, what more can we say? There's been so many things that Miss Jennifer has expressed that has motivated her. And I can't share that sentiment because people do come from the West and they may have ailments or disabilities, or they have health issues. And after they have been on the continent for any small length of time, everyone has given a testimony of how their health has improved and they have gotten better because you're eating, fresh foods, fresh meats. The atmosphere is better. The air doesn't seem to be as polluted as in the West. And the one significant thing is the level of stress that's in the West, it's over there and it's not here. It's not to say that there are not problems and issues in Ghana, because there are problems and issues everywhere in the world. But we do know that that level of stress that we experience in the West, we just don't experience it here. And that alone will have you to be a healthier person. All right, so tell me something that was a culture shock for you. Let's talk about what was a culture shock. Was there any culture shocks?
The heritage, the African history, the importance of that on a daily basis is prominent here. I was explaining to some of the Ghanaian people that Black history, Black American history, and African history is almost a rarity in the school systems in America. And here, history is all around you. African history is everywhere. The museums are absolutely fascinating. The people, the first president, is spoken of highly here today.
So do you remember the name of the first president, the famous president of Ghana, the first
Was that
president?
Nkrumah? Nkrumah?
Kwame Nkrumah.
Nkrumah.
Yes, she almost got it right, guys. So yes, we were introducing our group to Kwame Nkrumah. We went to the museum, and it's really interesting because a lot as African American people, how little that African Americans really know about the whole Pan-African movement.
Yes.
Although the Pan-African movement started here in Africa with people like Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois. In America, a lot of people really don't know that. And they don't know who the leaders and the founders of the Pan-African movement were. And so that's one of the things that she had mentioned, which I have to second that motion, is that we really do learn a lot of African history here on the continent that is not learned in the United States. And so it is safe to say, tell me if you agree, it is safe to say that if you want to learn African history, you need to come to Africa.
Absolutely.
All
And
right.
I do want to add about that river of no return. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna try not to cry.
Y'all, she had a Lord have mercy on there.
I'm gonna try not to cry.
It's okay. It is well.
But
It
about
is well.
what our people went through, I just, when you stand there at that river of no return entrance, I swear, as God is my witness, you can hear and feel the pain that some of those souls went through. I tell you. But you know, as painful and difficult as that was, I would go through it again. Because what I learned from that was even more about our resilience as an African people. We have been through it,
Yes.
and yet we rise. Yet we rise.
Yet we rise. All right. So if you could make one positive change, what would that change be?
Probably moving to Ghana. What else did you want to know?
Yeah, she's ready to pack her bag. She's ready to move to Ghana. Okay, so tell me what you thought about the food.
I've experienced some of that food in American Caribbean
Okay.
restaurants.
Okay.
But the food is fascinating. It's just I can't even begin to know how to duplicate some of the spices. It's just amazing. It's amazing. I ate this grilled tilapia. It was heavenly. It was so good. I could not. I haven't added salt to anything. I don't know. Do y'all have salt? I haven't touched anything with salt because the seasonings are so good as they are. And I'd like to see a cookbook here because I'd like to take some of this stuff, this knowledge home.
Maybe I'm taking notes, guys. So maybe on our next tour we need to plan a cooking tour because they do have a lot of cooking tours here.
Ooh,
And so
yeah, that would be great.
I'm taking notes, guys. All right. So what do you think about the service and the hospitality? Tell everybody where you're staying.
We're staying at the Cocoa Palm Inn.
At the Cocoa Palm
I tell
Inn.
you the service. I have to say, Kalenbah and Thefoutstours, woo-wee. Their staff is just out of this world. Just out of this world. I'm telling you. The fellas, and because now with the cane and the walker, I wasn't sure how this was going to work. And I have not had any difficulty because the staff of Thefoutstours addressed me before I can even mention that I need some help. They don't stop and look at you and say, do you need help? They are standing at my side at the time that I would ask. They're already there. They have made this trip as easy as possible for me, and I really appreciate that. You have wheelchair service, so I would say any elderly person who has average health, such that you can walk and Well, that's basically maybe climb some steps.
Mm-hmm.
That this is a trip. If you are still in good enough health to come, do that. Now, my doctors all have agreed with this, so I've done all of that. As a part of the application process, you indicate about your health and you talk about some of the things you can and cannot do. So I had all the preparation with Kalenbah Travels to do what I can do. But Fouts travel has been just absolutely wonderful. The service, oh my goodness, these young people in this hotel, I tell you, it's almost like they wait for you to ask them for something and then they just get it for you. Or if they don't already have it, they'll get it for you. But they're very industrious and busy and loving and compassionate and kind. They have helped as well. I mean, I had 4 people standing to help me move to the next station.
And I can tell you that's not something that in the West, in the United States, that service is a thing of the past. You just don't get that in the United States. And so when African Americans come to Ghana and they start to see real service is really appreciated because that's something that is lacking in the United States. So thank you so much for your...
About the service, something that's different for us also in the West is tipping for services. Here, I say bring tip money because it's going to be worth it. You're going to be glad to tip these people. The service is so unusual. In America, I open my own doors with my walker. So when these folks come run up, strangers come, or folks come run up to get the door for me, I just kind of stand there and look at them like, where did you come from? I was here by myself. Because they find me holding the walker with one hand, reaching for the door. I say bring plenty of tip money because this is one time, well, 2 things. It's cultural here, different from America. If you got it, why not bless somebody else with some of it? I have no problem with the tipping. If I'd have had more money, I'd have tipped more. And I would say, do this for yourself. This is a spiritual, recreational, educational, and social experience that I think every Black person ought to have.
Yes, yes.
And now be quiet.
But thank you so much for your insight and for sharing this. We definitely appreciate your feedback. And again, thank you for being a part of Kalenbah Travels and allowing me to bring you to Africa. And I look forward to bringing you and maybe some of your family members for the first time and bringing you back again. So guys, and Miss Jennifer, she's definitely interested in getting her citizenship. So,
Yes.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you, Doc.
God's blessings be with you.
You too, Queen.
Alrighty. Okay, so next we have my lovely guest, Donalyn Sims from Dayton, Ohio, that has joined us on our Aquaba tour. And now we're going to get a take from Miss Donalyn herself to see what her experience was like here in Ghana. But first of all, Donalyn, I want to ask you, what is your new name?
Ajua Danswa. Danswa.
Ajua Dansuwa.
Which means expressive.
Expressive. And what day of the week were you born on?
Monday.
So Ajua, born on a Monday, and Dansuwa means expressive. All right. So tell me how you feel about Africa, namely Ghana, now that you're actually here on the continent.
I felt peace. I felt acceptance and enjoyed it.
Okay. So we can safely say that all of our guests have said the same thing. Without them hearing what the next person said, everybody is sharing the same sentiment of peace here in Ghana. It's something that we don't quite have and know in the West. So, thank you for sharing that. Now, tell me, how do you feel about Africa? Like, what was your idea of Africa before you came?
Well, my idea was what West told me. A lot of poverty, a lot of division, a lot of women oppression. Those are the things that I was told.
So you had some preconceived notions of, would is it safe to say, a false narrative?
I'm not going to necessarily say all of it was false.
Okay.
Because when I got here, I seen some of the things that was expressed to me in a certain way.
Okay. Okay. All right. So tell me something that inspired you or motivated you here in Ghana.
That it was everybody here looks like me.
Ah,
That made me feel safe.
all right. Is there anything that you saw within the country as you were traveling about on your tour that inspired you at all?
Yes, the entrepreneurship that is here, uh, just to see them make everything. I mean, this country is rich with everything. And to see people be able to be creative enough and design and make it into something that people can use and is safe.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I can truly say that we do see a lot of things that we would waste and that we would chuck. We would chuck it and throw it away. Well, here in Ghana, that same trash will be someone else's treasure because they will take that and they will create and make something out of what we consider trash. It's not really trash at all because they use everything for something. All right, so tell me one thing, Donalyn, that was a culture shock for you.
The trash.
The trash. Okay.
All the trash all over the place, and then to see people just open up stuff and just throw it down. But then the food was excellent. Like, to me, it was like an oxymoron. Like, you take pride in the food, but you don't take pride in the city or in your area.
So that leads me into my next question. So, if you had the opportunity to make a positive change in Ghana, what would that change be?
How to find a way to reach the women.
Okay.
Um,
In what way? Reach them in what way?
to help them identify their strengths and come out from under the oppression. Because you can be in an oppressed situation, but if your mindset is correct, you can pull yourself out. You could be free no matter what government you live up under.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's been my life experience.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. Okay, so here's that loaded question. I'm getting so many different answers, but I think you may have answered that question already. I thought you said something about the food. My next question is, how do you like the local Ghanaian food?
I love it.
All right.
And I'm grateful that you all put us in a situation where we can try something new, because that's not me. Even though I know change is part of life, but I'm grateful because now I know I like black eyed peas stew. I like the group of fish. I never would have tried it had I not come here. And their mac and cheese is awesome.
The lobster mac and cheese.
Is that the one?
The lobster mac and cheese.
Yes.
So where did we get that lobster mac and cheese that was awesome? Do you remember where we got that from? Sandbox. So tell me, what was one of your favorite places that you visited here in Ghana?
I'm gonna say the beach.
The beach?
Yes.
Okay. Donalyn loves the beach. Okay, so what do you think about the hospitality of the locals here in Ghana?
Amazing, especially here at Cocoa Palm Inn. Every staff member, and I mean everyone, was just very polite. Always had a smile on their face and willing to help at any time.
I have to agree with that sentiment. So, my very last question to you, would you come back to Ghana again?
Yes.
All righty. So, what are you interested in getting any kind of membership, right to a boat, or citizenship here in Ghana?
Yes.
Had you considered that?
Yes.
Yes. All right, guys, y'all heard it from Donald. So, Ghana has been well to her. I think she has enjoyed her stay. Wouldn't you say so?
Oh, yes.
Are you ready to go back home?
Yes. I am ready to go back home
Okay.
and regroup.
Okay. All righty. Well, we thank you so much for your time and sharing your opinion. Okay, guys, so next we have another guest here that I want to introduce you all to. I have my lovely guest, Lene, and we're going to get her perspective of how she feels about Africa. But first of all, I would like to introduce you all to Lene.
Hello. Greetings.
And Lene is coming to us from Cincinnati, Ohio. And she has always been wanting to come to Africa, and now I get the opportunity to ask her herself how she feels about Africa, how she feels about Ghana, and let's just see what Lene has to say about Ghana. But first of all, I want to ask you, Lene, can you please tell us your new name?
My new name is Akosuwa Chiriwa, which means Sunday Unifier. The name Akosuwa represents the day of the week that I was born. And then Chiriwa means unifier, which is the name that the Queen Mother in the village gave me.
So do you think that name is very fitting of you?
I think the name is very fitting of me because I am one of those kind of people, one of those kind of individuals that like to bring folks together. I love unity. I'm always the one, even in the family, the peacemaker. You know, in the great words of Rodney King, why can't we all just get along?
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. So now, Lene, please tell me, how do you feel about Africa now that you're actually here on the continent?
I absolutely love it here. In addition to the warm weather, which I absolutely love, it's just so peaceful. And it just seems like there's a lot of oxygen in the air, so you like breathe clean and just helps relax you. We're getting ready to go home, and I ain't ready.
Oh, she's not ready to go, guys. We usually get that from everybody who comes. They come to Ghana and they get that little Ghana bug, and they're not ready to go home. So can you tell me, how did you feel, or what was your thoughts about Africa before you came?
My thoughts about Africa before I came, after seeing how big the city, how built up the city is, and how well developed the city is, I don't know, I guess I just assumed you have bush everywhere and you get to make contact with the animals, and I'm an animal lover, so you know just the environment itself is just welcoming and warm, and the people, they're just so kind. And one of the things that I really noticed is the population, in just being in the midst of all of it. It's just inviting. It's just really inviting.
Now, did you think that about Africa before you came? Did you think that it was an inviting place? Did you think that it was industrious as it is? Like,
I had no idea it was like this. And when I tell you these people work, these people work. They don't complain about the hard work they have to do. They do what is necessary to make sure their families and everything are taken care of. And the hustle in the people here is just absolutely wonderful. And let me just make one comment about men that I have encountered since I've
All
been
right,
here.
y'all. She's making a comment about the men.
The men here really know how to treat women. I mean, chivalry is not dead. We need to take a busload of them back to the States so they can show other men how women are to be treated.
All right, y'all heard that straight from Lene. What's your new name?
Akusuwa.
Akosuwa. So, Miss Akosuwa has told us that she really appreciates how men treat women here in Africa, and perhaps the men in the United States can learn a little lesson or two. Okay, so that kind of leads me into my next question about what inspired you, or what inspired you, or what motivated you here in Ghana. I think you just kind of touched on that. But so, Lene, I think you already answered the question, but let me just clarify. Tell me something that motivated you or inspired you about being here in Ghana.
I would have to say one of the things that really inspired me and motivated me while I've been here in the country was to see how well the villagers take care of each other, how they come together, how they pool their resources. There may be one family that's good at making palm wine, or you have another family that's good at producing spices, but how they take those resources and they pool them and they generate money and wealth for their own village. That's one of the things that really inspired me. That, here we go, unity. One of the things that we could really use in the U.S. is unity, just working together to help build each other up as opposed to get ahead and I can't reach back and pull the next brother up. So that was one of the things that really inspired me, was to see how well they work together and how they take care of each other.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that comment. So now I want to ask you, tell me something that was a culture shock for you.
Oh gosh, the culture shock was to actually see the folks we went to a place called the Makola Market. And when I tell you, for miles on end, you have vendors, farmers, just all lined up and down the street selling their goods. There's no, I would say, resistance among them or animosity in any kind of way. Everybody is just trying to make money. And to see everybody kind of lined up like that, just doing their thing, I was like, wow. Organized chaos is a very good word for it. It's really overwhelming to see something like that. And then there is just an abundance of everything. A lot of people would think that Africa doesn't have much because typically when they show these small villages of people and around them is really nothing but bush and they're living in these little shacks. But it is not like that at all. This country is very well developed and is still developing. I think someone mentioned there are 33 million people in just Accra alone. And Accra is just one city in Ghana. You know, you're pulling of all of these communities together to try and help build the country. And that's what their president is doing. He's doing his thing. And I so appreciate what he's doing.
All right, guys, you heard it from Lene. So shout out to President Mahama. I know you're newly elected or re-elected back in office, but African Americans are noticing the change, and I'm sure local Ghanaians are noticing the change within the country as well since John Mahama has taken office. So kudos to John Mahama, President John Mahama. Okay, now I want to ask you, Lene, if you had the opportunity to make a positive change, what would that change be? In 10 words or less, how do you think you can make a positive change in Ghana?
I think with my background,
And can you please share with us, excuse me, I want Lene to share with us what her background is. So what is your background?
I'm a chemist by trade. I went to college and got a degree in chemistry, and I've worked in consumer cosmetics and manufactured goods for the last 35, 40 years. And I can see here in this country where my skill set could be utilized greatly, maybe in the form of recycling. Was one of the things that I really noticed is that there's a lot of plastic, and in a lot of areas, a lot of waste that could be recycled and reused. And in addition to that, not only recycling and reusing, but it would also just help clean up some of the communities.
Okay. Y'all heard it from Lene. She would be interested in cleaning up the recycled plastic waste that we see all around Ghana. So thank you for sharing that. One day we can put that into action, right?
Right.
Okay, here's a loaded question, guys. I always ask everybody this question: what do they think about the local food? And your
Honest opinion, the food is really good. Now, let me just say, some of it was shocking to me. I would say the one thing, the way they prepare fish. Okay, I was not aware that leaving the head on the fish helps to add flavor. Okay, when I saw it, I thought, I can't eat it. I had never been served fish with a head on it. They don't know anything about filleting here. I'm a fillet fish eater. So I think that was kind of shocking to me. But other than that, I think the food was really good. Some of it is an acquired taste. And then I think some of the other foods you just get used to after eating it. But for the most part, the food is really good. Spicy, but good.
Okay, thank you for that. So my last question for you is, drum roll, would you come back to Ghana again?
Oh, definitely. Definitely come back. As a matter of fact, I'm going to apply for membership to the AAGA. What is that? The
Triple AG, African American Association of Ghana. So you see that, guys? She wants to become a member of African American Association of Ghana. What would be your purpose for your membership?
My membership would be so that I can have better or easier access to the country so that I can come back, so that I can really familiarize myself with the area and then possibly one day move here.
Okay.
Gain some of that peace and serenity. I know since I've retired, the hustle and bustle of the go-go and over it, and I could come here and just live happy out in the mountains and go to the safaris whenever I want to see the animals since I'm a big animal lover. Got to go see my big cats.
Lene, I thank you so much for sharing your experience here in Ghana. Guys, you all heard it from my clients. They're telling it like it is, sharing with you their experience here in Ghana, because that's what we do on the Real Ghana Life. Next, we have the lovely Miss Sandra Jackson. And Sandra is from Cincinnati, Ohio. Sandra, I think, is originally from Alabama, but now residing in Cincinnati, Ohio, and she has joined us on the Kalenbah Travel Tour. And we want to get a take from Miss Sandra what she felt about her trip, her tour, how she feels about Africa. But first, we want to find out what her new name is. So, Miss Sandra, without further ado, can you please tell us your new given name?
Ama Ofariwa.
Ama Ofariwa. And can you please tell us what Ama Ofariwa means?
Gentle, generous, and humble.
Generous and humble. So, Ama, what day of the week were you born on?
Saturday.
Okay, so she is an Ama born on Saturday, and she is generous and humble. Now, I can tell you that I am now getting acquainted with Miss Ama, Miss Sandra, and the little bit that I know about her, that name fits her perfectly. Because she has been very generous, and she's very humble, and she is a blast to be around. I'm really glad that she decided to come on the tour with us because she has made our tour fun. So without further ado, Miss Sandra, please tell us how you feel about Africa now that you actually made it here on the continent.
I love it. I love all the experiences that I went through, all the things that I learned, uh, things that I thought I knew. Once I got here, I realized I didn't know. So I loved it.
So let's talk about some of those things that you thought you knew. What did you think about Africa before you came down?
Uh, a lot of times when you see Africa, I knew about the slavery, but a lot of times when you see Africa, you see the babies on the commercials. Everybody is all bones and skin, and people begging for money. So that's what they show us in the U.S. when it's concerning Africa, and it's totally the opposite.
All the negative narratives,
Yes.
the false narratives. Yes. So, and I think a lot of people in the West, a lot of us African Americans, we really do not know a whole lot about our own continent, our own culture, where we came from. And the only thing that we have to go off of is the false narratives and the indoctrination and the assimilation that the Europeans have taught us. And so we grow up and we live our lives thinking all the worst, all the negative about our country, our continent, which makes us think the worst about ourselves. So we kind of internalize that, and that was very intentional by the colonizers. So it is a good thing to now see a lot of African Americans are now actually coming to Africa for themselves and seeing for themselves that it is just not what they tell us on TV. So I will like to tell everyone that if you think you want to come to Africa, it's in your heart and you purpose to come to Africa, do it. Do so. See for yourself. Because it will be your experience. And the only way that you can really learn African history is to come. Okay, now let's move on. So tell me what inspired you here or something that motivated you while we were out and about on tours. Is there anything that inspired you or motivated you here in Ghana?
Uh, just the success of people here, because you don't see the success. Whenever you think about Ghana, see Ghana, it's always just dust and tin and dirt roads and all that. But to see that this is a whole, this is just buildings, just like over in the U.S. It's buildings and restaurants and things, and people progressing, people doing great, because we have poor people everywhere, you know. So just to be able to see that, and the inspiration for coming here was, I always wanted to, but Lene afforded that opportunity to me, and I'm grateful for that.
Okay, okay. Yes, I am grateful also to Lene. She has really truly been super excited about coming to the continent, super excited about pulling other people in. And I'm glad you guys came on the tour. Okay, so all right, tell me something that was a culture shock for you.
Uh, Probably the food
The food.
more than anything.
Okay. So let's talk about the foods, because that's one of the questions that I want to ask you, how you felt about local Ghanaian food. So tell me how the food was a culture shock.
Uh, because I had already eaten some African food, and I guess I assumed the taste was going to be the same. It was going to be made the same, and it let me know that it's different. But that's the same way with cooks. You got 3 people can cook the same thing, but it's going to taste different according to whoever is seasoning and whatever they got. And so my expectation was it was going to be the same, but it was different when I got here.
Okay, so can you tell us what type of African food that you were already accustomed to?
Senegalese.
Senegalese.
I think it's I've eaten some Nigerian food. So this was totally it's they got the same name and they look like the same, but they make it different. Yeah, yes they do.
Yes, because every African country has its own culture, its own taste, its own flavor, if you will. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so now, seeing the things that you saw on the tour, I'm sure there were some things that was rolling around in your mind, and I want you to tell me if you had the opportunity to make a positive change here in Ghana, what would that change be?
Um, as I come over here and build my house in the village that I'm near, I would want to help them with theirs too. Even if it's nothing but being able to update with paint, painting the tin and having different colors and make it vibrant in the area. Being able to maybe get some ground off where you have all the red dirt at and be able to put something else down so you can keep the village more cleaner than what it is, because the red dirt is a big problem to keep it clean. Because you can paint it and do whatever you want to it, as long as that red dirt is right there and that dust is always going to be dirty. I would love to do that so people can feel good about their own homes when they come home. They may be modest on the inside, but they can still feel good about their own homes. Not just see progression going on around them, but see that somebody care about them enough to be able to give them a hand up to make their areas look good as well.
Right, in their own local space.
Yes, in their own local space.
Yes, yes. So tell me again, what is the meaning of your name?
Generous and humble.
Y'all hear that? Generous and humble. Did you all hear what her positive change would be? She said that when, not if, she said when. Okay, so I have my final questions coming up that I want to ask Sandra. Let's find out from Miss Sandra how the service was. So Miss Sandra, can you tell us how was service here in Ghana and in the hotel that you stayed in?
Phone service. Oh, the people. The service was great. It was fantastic. Everybody was polite. Everybody was kind, generous, and willing to help. And it wasn't fake. It was real. So in every place that we went to, even in the restaurants, it was like that.
Yes, I have to agree. So what do you think about the service here at Coco Palm Inn?
I think the service was great here. Only thing I didn't like was just, my one thing was the food. Having the same thing every day, not having a choice, a different choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just limited choices on the menu.
Yes.
But otherwise,
everything was great.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Everything.
The service at Coco Palm Inn is awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, so if you are in Accra, Ghana, looking for a very nice, this is like a hidden gem right here in the middle of Accra. It's called Coco Palm Inn. Guys, call them up, book a night. They have pool, they have great service, they have nice rooms, modern amenities. So yes. So now I want to ask you, would you come back to Ghana again?
Yes.
That was a most emphatic yes.
Yes.
Yes. I couldn't even get my question out and she already said yes.
Yes.
So I think I knew the answer to that question because she kind of gave it away when she said when she builds her home. So are you interested in right to abode or citizenship here, getting dual citizenship here in Ghana?
Yes.
Now, have you ever had your DNA done? Do you know what your genetics? No. Okay, would you be interested in getting a DNA testing? Okay. So let's just say you got DNA done and your DNA came out to be from another country.
Mm-hmm.
Would you still want to get citizenship here in Ghana?
I would, and I would still want to visit there though.
Okay. So that means that you really like Ghana.
Yeah.
All right. You guys heard it from Sandra. Tell us your name one more time.
Which one?
Your new given name.
Ama Ofariwa.
Ama Okoriwa. Y'all heard it from her. She loves Ghana. And I have to say, I share that same sentiment. I love Ghana too. We all love Ghana. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the For Real Ghana Life. All right. Okay, guys. So now we have our elder. We have our eldest person that came on our tour, Queen Mother. Yes, guys, this is a special because this is my Queen Mother, my very own Queen Mother. So she's very dear to my heart. We want to see how she felt and her experience here in Ghana, being the fact that she is 78 years old. This is her first time with a passport, first time with a visa, first time traveling out of the country, and she decided to come to Ghana. So let's get a word from Queen Mother. Okay, so this is Queen Mother,
Hello.
and she is from Cincinnati, Ohio. So, Queen Mother, can you tell us what is your new name?
Akua Yakishiwa.
Akua
Wakishiwa.
Akishiwa?
Yes.
Okay, and what does your name mean?
Disciplined and decent.
Disciplined and decent. And Akua is born on what day?
Wednesday.
Born on a Wednesday. So she is Akua, Queen Akua. I like the sound of that. Okay, so tell me how you feel about Africa, mainly Ghana, but how do you feel about Africa now that you're actually on the continent?
It's somewhat what I expected, but it's really emotional, hot,
Hot.
but a very good experience for me all around. A very good experience, and I'm glad I got to experience it before the end.
Okay. Okay. And so, is there something that you saw in Africa or in Ghana that motivated you or inspired you?
I was inspired by a lot of things, and if I had to name them all, we'd be here for a while. But I was just inspired by the people that are here, their ingenuity, their creativity and stuff. That's what inspired me most.
Okay. So, tell me something that was a culture shock for you.
That slave den,
The slave castle, that was
yeah,
a culture shock for
that
you.
really, that was really really emotional for me.
Okay. So, is there anything about the Ghanaian culture that was a shock for you that's different than what you know in the U.S.?
Well, a lot of things, but it wasn't really a shock. It was just a difference, you know. It's a difference in here and there, you know. It's just a difference, and I accept it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, if you had the opportunity to make one positive change here in Ghana, what would that be?
I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything. I mean, I might change the living situation, but other than that, I wouldn't change anything.
And how would you do that? What positive change can you add to the country? You said living situations. What?
Everybody had homes. Everybody had a place to stay, running water, lights, you know, a bed to sleep in, things like that.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like Queen Mother would, her positive change would be community outreach to make sure that everybody had the basic necessities.
Yes.
And that's really awesome because everything kind of starts with the basics. If you have your basic necessities met, then you can excel from there. You can grow from there. Okay. So, loaded question. How did you feel about the local Ghanaian food?
That's an adjustment. For me, that's an adjustment because I'm a picky person, a picky eater. So that was an adjustment. But if
Okay.
I stayed longer, I would probably adjust to it.
Okay. So, can you tell me one local Ghanaian dish that you tried?
No, because I don't think I tried any of them.
What about the red bread?
Oh, yes.
She forgot about the
Yes.
black eyed peas,
Excellent.
guys.
Excellent.
I
Yes.
knew I could bring it out in her.
Yes. Yes.
We had specially ordered red bread for this black eyed peas over here.
It was excellent. And if I knew how to make it, I'd make it myself.
So, what did you think about Heritage Night?
That was a treat. That was a treat. That I like the spoken word, you know, and the dancing and stuff. It was fun. That was a fun night.
Okay, all right. So, what do you think about the hospitality and how people treated you here in Ghana, and especially here in the hotel?
I would take all the people here at this hotel and take them to my house. I think they're especially receptive to the elders, and we don't get that at home. And I like that, and I thank them for being so kind to me.
Yes, yes. Well, that concludes my interview with you. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Queen Mother is, she's not really a big talker, so we did good to get that much out of her. So thank you so much because our elder has spoken.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, so last but not least, we have our girl Ray Dean. She is the baby of the bunch. So we want to get your perspective on how you felt about your trip to Ghana and how you feel about Africa. But first and foremost, let's find out, what is your new given name?
It is Ya Adwinka.
Ya Ajumpa. And could you please tell our audience, what does Ya Ajumpa mean?
It means I have a idealistic personality, or good mind, good thoughts, happy person.
Okay, and I will say, from what I know about Ray, that fits her perfectly. So can you please tell us, what does Ya mean?
Ya means I'm a Thursday born.
She's born on a Thursday, so Ya Ajumpa.
Yes.
Tell us your experience or how you feel about Africa now that you've actually been on the continent.
Man, it's amazing. It's so much more peaceful than the States. But I mean, of course, the States will always be like our birthplace, but this is our ancestral home. So it just feels like as soon as you get here, it's like you're at home. You know what I mean? Like, you don't feel like a stranger. You feel like you're right at home and you're at peace.
Okay.
And the sun is just amazing. The food is good. The people are super sweet. Like, I can just go on and on. Like, I love you.
So I think she just answered all the questions in that very one question, guys. So is it safe to say that you love Ghana?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So tell me something that inspired you or motivated you as we were out and about on our tour, something that you may have saw, or just anything that inspired you.
Something that inspired me was seeing the different communities, from the villages to the upcoming and all built up areas. And what inspired me is kind of like, yes, we're building up in like Accra or like the very beautiful mountains and things like that. But it's like, hey, we need to go back and give to some of the smaller votaries, some of the smaller abbreviations, like have that trickle back down. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you were inspired by seeing the production of the homes and businesses.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us, what was a culture shock?
I'm not sure. Like a culture shock.
Was there anything that you saw that was like, whoa, something different from what you see in the West or what you're used to in the United States?
The biggest culture shock for me was the CDs, because like you'll go and like a tray of mangoes was like $47.99 CDs, and it's like that's $47, and it's not $47, it's 47 CDs. So that was like a super big shock to me, like how much something is listed for. Like you can see a blanket for 1,500 CDs, and the first thing you think of, that's $1,500, and it's like, no, that's not it. It's CDs. So that was the biggest culture shock.
I think the rate of exchange was a bit of a culture shock for most of our clients, because even when it came to tipping, what I did notice was a lot of people, we may be accustomed to giving $1, $2, $3, or a $5 bill, or even a $10 bill, which is a $10 or $20 bill is a really good tip. But the average tip is somewhere around $5, and so what I found is a lot of our clients giving a 5 CD for a tip, not realizing that that's coins. That's about 32 cents or something like that. Yeah. And so I think that whole rate of exchange thing was a culture shock for most people.
Mhm.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing that. Okay. So now, seeing the things that you saw when we were on our tour, now that you've seen a glimpse, a little bit of Ghana, you've seen the nice buildings and the nice hotels and homes in Abri. You saw some really nice stuff in Accra. And then you also saw stuff that, were impoverished areas. And I'm sure that things was running through your mind. So if you had the opportunity to make a positive change in Ghana, what would it be?
Um, I would like to. This may sound weird, but I would like to pick up a lot of the trash. I don't know why, but like that bothers me. All the trash that's everywhere. I would want to pick it up, especially when you even go to like the ocean. We went to Kryptonite Beach and seeing the trash there, and it goes
Coco Bite.
Coco Bite.
She said kryptonite. Yeah. So Superman, you cannot go to that beach.
But yes, all the trash. I want to pick all that up.
Okay. So you're not the only person. That has been, I think, a general consensus for most people. The trash was a little overwhelming, and people have the desires to make the positive change. But helping to clean up Ghana, because it's a beautiful country and you want the beauty to shine. You don't want the beauty to be blemished by all of this plastic and waste everywhere. Um, okay, so tell us, Ravine, we know that Ray is a foodie. So this is the best person to ask this question. What do you think about the local Ghanaian food?
I thought it was really good. And I was very adventurous, so I was trying different things. I'm not a meat eater, so I eat fish. I'm a pescatarian, but everything that I tried was delicious. Everybody said the wings were good. They looked really good. The fish was good. The fufu was good. The banku. My favorite, the groundnut peanuts, the groundnut soup, the peanut soup. That was a good one. And then the umutu, the rice balls, that was good.
The mutu.
Yeah, that was good. And then that chocolate syrup cake that we had, that was really good.
So
And
guys,
ice cream.
that chocolate is all of that.
Yeah,
So what did you learn about the chocolate here in Ghana? Did you learn something about chocolate?
It's made from the cocoa, cocoa seed.
Pod.
Thank you, the cocoa pod. And that chocolate starts off white, like it's not chocolate already. I was like, what is not chocolate? But yeah, when they open it, it's like a white flesh in there, and then it has this seed that is covered in white, and then you can like take the seed. You can also suck on it, and it tastes like chocolate. But if you take it, you can boil it, and then you can also pound it, and then it becomes chocolate. It's a whole process.
So I'm sorry that you guys didn't get the opportunity to see the whole process of how chocolate is made. But yes, you're right. When you open up the cocoa pod, it is white, the white seeds. You can suck the flesh off of the seed. They dry the seeds out. Once they dry the seeds out, then they press and roll, and that is what produces the chocolate. So, and one thing I do want to express is that, guys, chocolate does not come from Switzerland. It comes from Africa. Okay. All right. Yeah. So now that we have gotten that straight, yes, cocoa is a cash crop here in Africa. So now I want to ask you this question: your personal experience with the hospitality and how people treated you in Ghana and within this hotel. How do you think how would you rate the customer service?
Oh, 100. Like everybody was super sweet here. You wave at somebody, they're like, "Hi, how you doing?" Like they're super sweet. Everybody that we met, to all of our tour guides, everybody that was on the trip with us, everybody was just super sweet. All the men were gentlemen. They were just super helpful. Like if you needed anything, they got you. They're right on it. All of our everybody was super intelligent too, especially like all of our tour guides. Like they just knew so much, even about American cultures. You know what I'm saying? In American history, they also knew it about the African history and how our courts. So everybody was just super sweet. Like it felt like a whole big family. Like, yeah.
So the one question that I want to go back to and ask you: what did you think about Africa before you came to Africa?
Well, I always thought of Africa just as only safaris, So, the lions, the tigers, the giraffes.
So let me ask you, did you see any lions, tigers, or giraffes while you were in Ghana?
Not on this trip. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Then I also, you see the commercials about all the people who are impoverished. Even inside those areas that we went to, it was nothing like the commercials. And then, of course, some people have so many different concerns about like different conflicts in other countries in Africa and stuff like that. But that was none of that happened here in Ghana. Like none of it at all.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate how much you like or dislike Ghana? 10 being like it very much, and 1 being don't like it at all.
A 10 like it very much. But okay. Like 20, 30, 40. Like,
okay, so you want to give it a 20, 30, or a 40.
Yeah.
Guys, you heard that? Did you hear that? Ghana is all of that. All of my clients love Ghana, even though everybody did not have the same, share the same experience. They did not feel the same way about every single thing. But one thing mutually that all of our guests have said is the peace that's here in Ghana, the warm hospitality that's here in Ghana, how much they felt accepted in Ghana, and that they love Ghana, and that they want to come back. So now I'll ask you, would you like to come back to Ghana?
I would love to come back to Ghana. I know we have an upcoming tour coming in October, so hey, might be on that one too.
Okay. So are you interested in doing any, joining any memberships, African American Association of Ghana, or plugging in with any of the organizations that they have here on the continent for African Americans to repatriate or to get right of abode or citizenship?
Yes. And we're actually working on that and getting all of our funds together to pay for the citizenship wait list. So yes.
Okay. All right. So thank you. That concludes our interview. I appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing your experience. And I will say with that, Aquaba.